Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of crap on MagicReview.com. Sorry folks, we got a 1.5 star product known as of Rubble. The magnetic deck. I was really actually very excited to get this because it says, imagine a special deck of cards with real magnets that will allow you to perform unbelievable flourishes. You'll be able to do in minutes what professionals take months to practice. That's an exciting prospect. And a lot of times when you practice your crazy, Sybil cut stuff, it's not uncommon to practice that by either rubber banding a bunch of packets of cards so that you're just dealing with a few blocks of cards rather than loose cards, or gluing them together or something like that. So I thought this was kind of like that, but no, it's not. This is what you get. That's it. This is a packet of cards that are magneted together, and they come apart. But that's it. I don't think I'm really exposing anything there because they already tell you that it's a magnetic thing. But you can't really do a whole lot with it. And here's the weird thing. Okay, here's one of the tricks that they teach you. You ready? This is one of the tricks they teach you. Holding a stack of cards like this, and you grab it. Look, they've vanished from here. Now they're gone. Now they're back. That's one of the tricks they teach. I mean, what kind of an effect is that? Now, again, I don't like to rant too much on effects, but first of all, let's just assume that's like the most awesome effect in the world. Okay, let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that that's a great effect. Here's the gimmick. I'm going to put it over there. Now, here we go. I have a block of cards here. I grab them. They're gone. They vanish. Look, they're back over here. What do you need the gimmick for to do that? Which, again, if you think that's a great effect, you don't need the gimmick to do this. I personally think it's a really stupid effect, but whatever. So there's things like that in there. There's a lot of this stuff, like, okay, I was hoping, so here's the Gianni Mattiolo illogical cut that you might be familiar with. Those style of cuts. Some of them use this gimmick in an awkward way. Watching Granell, the magician, perform them, it was just very awkward, and he was like crooked and pausing and confused even at points. And here's the other thing. The idea that you can do with this thing what others, pros take years to practice or months to practice, it's not even an accurate statement. For example, the Buck Twins stuff. Their stuff is crazy, right? And it's very visual and very pretty to watch. That kind of stuff you can't even really do with this little gimmick. So it's not even the same kind of thing. This type of stuff is similar. It's in the same genre, sort of. But some of the things that you're doing, it's just clear that you're using some cards that are stuck together. I mean, it's very clear. So I don't know. It's just hard to say that this gimmick has very much value at all. The other thing, there's stuff that you can do with this gimmick that you could not do, no matter how much you practiced with a regular deck of cards, because of the design of the gimmick. So there's just really no correlation between what this gimmick can do and what you can do with a regular deck of cards with practice. And the few things that do sort of cross over, where, yeah, this thing with the gimmick kind of looks like that thing that you could do with practice, the practice version just looks better. It just is cleaner, it's clearer, you're not clunky and awkward. I just can't see any use for this. So, but watch the trailer and you'll see the flourishes in there. If you think those flourishes look good, then you may want to get this. It's only $30, and the gimmick itself is actually very well made. And $30 isn't a bad price to pay for this. I mean, I've reviewed plenty of other DVDs that don't come with any gimmick or anything, and they cost more than that. I mean, this you get the rest of the deck of cards and the gimmick here. And so that may be worth it to you. But let me tell you something about the trailer. In the trailer, you'll see him do some of the flourishes, but you'll also see where they cut. And they're cutting because the way he does it looks awkward. So they cut and they skip ahead to you know, somewhere. So if he's going to do a triple thing like this, all right, something like this. Okay, now you saw I got a little awkward. This is not using the gimmick, by the way. It's just regular cards. So you step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay, that was relatively smooth, I suppose, but he, with using the gimmick for this kind of stuff, is very awkward. So you might see this in the trailer, and then it'll cut, and when they come back, he's already in this position, and you don't see him get to that position because it just looks awkward. So the flourishes don't even look as smooth as they do in the trailer. Further, one of the effects was this thing where he has a block of cards in his hand, and he flips it in the air, and the aces fly out. Okay, so now let's get into the explanation of things, and that's where you're going to see the problem with this ace thing I just mentioned. The DVD is completely done with no speaking. Now, you may remember I just reviewed Lawrence Godin's manipulation video. It's hard to say. And it was all silent as well. And I didn't have a problem with that on that video because of the type of stuff you're learning. On this video, the stuff that you're doing is so complex and intricate, not necessarily complicated, but just complex and involved and intricate, that method of teaching does not work. There were so many times where I couldn't even tell what he was doing. I couldn't quite fully understand the proper orientation of the gimmick. And this ace one in particular was one where basically you have the aces, I just got whatever, the twos, but you have the aces there and you throw it up in the air and somehow the gimmick flies out and the aces fly into the other hand. And when he shows the explanation of it, he just shows you throwing it, and I have no idea what he's doing. I not slowed down, but I pause it, rewind it, and I rewound it, and I still could not figure out what the heck he was doing. So the teaching is not very good. Further, if you look in the written review, you'll see the list of effects. This is the name. I have all the effect names memorized, all 23 of them. I have them all memorized. You ready? Effect 1, Effect 2, Effect 3, Effect 4, etc., etc. That is the name of each effect. There is no name that has any meaning. And so, you know, if you're watching the video and you watch the whole thing and you're like, oh, that one where he makes the triangle thing, that's kind of cool. Sorry, I'm using my iPhone to record, and I got an email and I could see it coming through while I'm recording, and it distracted me for a minute. Anyway, it's from My Lovely Assistant, of all things, another review place. Anyway, so you might, you know, if you were looking at it and you're like, oh, I want to go back and learn that one with the triangle pattern he made or whatever, you don't know which one it is. I mean, you have to just go through each effect one at a time and hope you stumble across it. There's 23 effects, and you can't just click on the first effect and watch them all the way through and skip till you find the one you want. No, each one at the end of it, it stops. You go back to the main menu, and then you got to start over again. And there's no forwarding. I mean, there's forwarding as far as you can speed up what you're watching, but you cannot skip to the next chapter. There is no play all button. There is a play all of the performances button, labeled weird. It was something else. I stumbled on it by accident. And it just plays the performances, all 23 of them back to back. And as each new effect comes up on the screen, it just says Effect 1, Effect 2 on a little text overlay for just 2 seconds. So if you're watching that for 5 minutes and you're on the 11th effect, let's say, and you're like, oh, I like that one, I want to learn that one. Well, hopefully you noticed a second ago that it said Effect 11 on the screen so that you can stop the thing, go to the DVD menu, go into the explanation section, find what hopefully number 11, click on it, and it plays the performance, and you find out, oh crap, I guess it wasn't number 11, maybe it was number 10, I'll try that one. But it plays the performance, and then it plays the explanation afterward. Just a nightmare to navigate this thing. Not a very easy educational experience. Let me tell you one of the other effects that was on this video. You ready? I'm going to do it for you right now. Here we go. This is the effect. This would be sitting on a table. Here's the effect. That's it. That's the effect. What is that? What kind of effect? And here's the thing. To do it, you have to have a water bottle with a magnet inside, so you can put the deck on it and it sticks on there. Well, as you can see, here's an unopened water bottle that's made out of plastic, And I have no problem balancing that on there. Even while I'm holding it, it's not even sitting on a table. Further, in the trailer, you'll see a thing where there's a packet of cards and they're spinning on the bottle top. Nowhere does he teach that on the video. Do you guys want me to keep going? I mean, I'm sorry. You know, I hate to be so dang negative. Here's what I'm thinking. If you can find a use for this gimmick, if you think you'll use this, then it would be $30 well spent. Forget about what's on the DVD. Because this gimmick is well made and it's clever. I just don't see any purpose for it. And I gave you a brief flash of it at the beginning, and I might have been borderline exposure, and that was certainly not my intent. But because they say that there's magnets in it and that the cards stick together, I think we're okay there. Hopefully I won't get a complaint about that. But when I tend to give a negative review, that's sort of what happens. People complain that I expose too much. Anyway, if you think you'll use that gimmick, go ahead and spend it. If you think the flourishes in the DVD trailer are good, then go ahead and get it. Frankly, I don't think the flourishes look that good. I think they look clunky. And remember, there was cuts in the trailer, so they're not as clear looking as you think they are. Make sure you read the written review because it details some other things about this. Bottom line, I can't recommend it, guys. 1.5 stars. Stone status of Rubble. Random iTunes song of the moment today. Dio. Yes. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I should have done this. That's Dio. You listen, I drink. Oh, it's warm in here. That's Evil Eyes by Dio from the Last in Line DVD. It's a great album, man. Really good album. Anyway, whew. Sorry for the rant. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all on my next review. Peace and out.